Yeah, we hit 500 episodes. That's I can't. That's 500 episodes, dude. That's unreal. Let me look back at one of the first episodes. Here we go. Let's listen to the beginning of the first episode. Wow, dude, it was 7 years ago.
And this past weekend is the first one I ever done. The first one. I'm seeing how it goes. I'm literally sitting in my closet right now in my apartment in Los Angeles. I hung some blankets up on the walls. I don't even know if that's how you make a sound area for recording. I have a luggage bag laying on its side like it was a casualty of war, and then I have this microphone sitting on top of it.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. That's wild, man. Just to think that we got to 500 episodes, and yeah, just that's how it began, was in that closet. Just a little fella in the closet, dude. And that is not a euphemism, bro. I just audio documented the fact that it was actually a man physically in a closet, a straight man. Yeah, and I turned over a piece of luggage and I set the camera up, or the audio mic up on top of it. And it was just an audio podcast. Yeah, and then there was, I remember we had the first jingle. If we can play that, the intro. Let me find it here. At the beginning of this episode, this was our early intro right here.
Welcome to This Past Weekend. This past weekend. Welcome to This Past Weekend.
Let's connect that boom boom.
What's up, you chinchillarellas? Bienvenidos este fin de semana pasado. This past weekend.
Yeah, so at some point I started taping in my kitchen. And that was for 6 months. For 6 months, I was taping in my kitchen, and we had some producers that I met online. I don't even remember. Did you come help me in my kitchen, Nick?
Yeah, one time.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, we did it in the kitchen for about 6 months, and I remember I would stay up for a while. In the beginning, I would just edit it myself and put it up, and then I would keep my girlfriend up. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be sitting there just making sure everything made sense online. That was pretty wild. And then there was a company called Gray Block Pizza, and I met the owner, Thomas, and he started advertising. He was our first advertiser on the podcast. This was the ad read right here. This week's episode brought to you by Gray Block Pizza at 1811 Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, on the way to the beach. You headed to the sunshine? You want some sand in your feet? On the way there, stop in. Get that Italian mouthful. You know, Gray Block. Get that hitter. And he said, you should get a studio. He said, with the ad money, you should get a studio. And then that's what we did. So the Fighter and the Kid had an old studio. We took their old spot. They had moved to a bigger one next door. And then we started getting more regular guests. We got Chris Ryan came in, and Jay Moore, Jeannie Buss, Dustin Poirier, Dee Snider. We had Eddie Bravo, Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, a lot of just early heroes that showed up. Uneven Steven, he was a homeless guy. And yeah, it just continued to build from there. We had a blind person come on. Michael Bisping came in there. Jordan Peterson came in. Who else? Bobby Lee. It just kept going. Or we just kept doing it. You know, there were times when it was good and times when it wasn't going good, or it was always going good. It was just going. That's really the truth. And we just kept doing it. You know, we just kept doing it. And I've had a great group of producers over the years that have helped. Nick Davis was really the starting producer, and he's back with us now. Zach Powers is one of our lead producers now. Colin Reiner, Ben Becker, Ari Manis has stepped in to help produce episodes when we're traveling on the road. This guy, Chris, Shy Chris, we called him, really amazing dude. My buddy, Sherb, there was this dude for a little while. We were in between studios, and I would tape at his studio at night. And he overdosed a few years ago, but I keep him in my heart, man. He's a guy that helped me get through weeks where there wouldn't have been an episode. There was times I remember I did it in my car a few times in the middle of the night in a driveway somewhere in Illinois. One time I needed to get an episode out.
All right, I'm coming to you live from a Nissan Sentra, about 20 miles from the nearest internet. It is dark out here, dude. I mean, you can't see nothing. I mean, the devil could be just smelling the cinnamon stains on your skin, and you wouldn't know he's right next to you.
And then just people would make beautiful art and really, it's just been a really amazing world. And I'll have to go over some of that in the future. There's a guy that made these really cool cards, and he would, whenever we would do an episode, he would do an outline, like a sketching or whatever, a sketching of the person, the guest who'd been on. And he made a great collection of those for us. I'll make sure to put it in on the YouTubes so you can see it. And but we moved into another studio, and we were there for a few years, and then finally we're in even a new studio now. And so it's been an evolution, and it's been really crazy, and it's been. It's something that really started like just, it was kind of just talking about stuff, and then guys connecting about things, a lot of fellas, and sometimes even women were connecting. I remember one woman called in once, and a man had touched her. Her and her guy, like they were dating, and some fella had touched her vagina in a empty refrigerator box. And that was just... That's when I knew, like, we were definitely on to something. We were doing something right, just because there was an element of mystery there. There was like a missing appliance. There was sexual touching. There was sexual tension. It was, and I think she was even a redhead. And I remember that moment was pretty solid. Other moments, the fella that got hit by the train, Dalton, I think was his name. I remember that, baby. 2 trains. And he said, look, if God wants that train to hit me again, I'm ready. I'm ready to be hit again by a locomotive. And I knew, that's how I just said, damn, we're really doing something here, and yeah, it's just been a special time. It's been amazing to have this opportunity. And I don't know if I'm just sounding like a mechanical bull or whatever. This podcast is just giving me so many more opportunities than ever thought. It's giving me opportunities to talk with strangers about stuff that's real. It's given me the opportunity to talk with people I really look up to and admire, with stuff that's real and not real and fun. It's given me a chance to learn a lot about myself. And yeah, that's what I want it to be moving forward. And I wanted to do a solo episode sooner for episode 500, but it just didn't shake out that way. And I didn't stress myself about it. I didn't go over like, I got it, I just said, look, when the time is right, you'll get it right. And even today, we started out an hour and a half late because there was some technical issues here, but that's okay. Here we are, and I'm just, I just want to say thank you to everybody for just listening, contributing. So many people I run into, they're like, man, I sent in a voicemail, or I did this, or I did that. And I try to get back to as many as we can. And it's just been a lot. It's been a lot to learn as things have gotten busier, and just some of the fun moments we've gotten to have and some of the real moments. And this podcast has just given me a lot of life. You know, it's given me a job to go to every week, which I think has probably kept me off of like probably using drugs sometimes, because I knew I had to be here the next day, or I knew I had to be ready for a guest. So just thank you for tuning in, man. You guys, I think, you know, honestly, I think there's times where you guys have saved my life, because I know that just having that one thing on the docket, like, okay, I'm going to be able to, you know, I can't go out. I can't do this tonight. I got to work tomorrow, and looking forward to my work, looking forward to being able to meet up and be here. And, and we want the show to evolve and be different. Worked really hard in the last year or two to try to, spend my spare time going to meet guests and have conversations, get to talk with some of my heroes as they've gotten older. And it's just thank you. Thank you to everybody who's contributed in some way, whether it be a call or listening or a message or just being a human being and letting me just exist in your ears at some point, whether you liked what I had to say or didn't. Just thanks for letting me visit with you for a little. And I mean that, man. I love you guys. And that's how I feel. I don't want to make a crazy thing out of it, but everybody kept saying it's 500. Who you going to have on, you know? People are like, who you going to have on, dude? Teddy Ruxpin, right? Pikachu. But yeah, you should have Theodore Roosevelt on. You should have Amelia Earhart on. You should have on Jack and Jill, Rob Ford, Punxsutawney Phil, Uncle Phil, Frederick Douglass, right? Who you gonna have? Everybody, who you gonna have on, you know? The Aurora Borealis? You know, everybody just had a different idea, you know? Have on a trank dealer, you know? Have on Elon, have on Da Baby. Everybody had a different idea. Have on Kaisana. Have on Kaisana. All of them, get them all on, they said. And I said, well, I don't know. And then it came and went, and then now here we are. And I don't even know what episode it is, 500 and something, but I'm grateful to be here with you guys, man. I'm grateful to be here, baby. Just a gaggle of pigeons